Detroit Lions. Let's talk Detroit Lions football. They've had an interesting offseason, right? They're missing two of their coordinators right now. Ben Johnson to Chicago as a head coach. Aaron Glenn to New York with the Jets as a head coach. So there's two new coordinators there now. They've got a lot of talent on the roster, but it's hard for me to see the Detroit Lions in the same light that I once did. Detroit's Super Bowl window is closing really fast, and I don't think people realize it. You know, I'm not so confident in the Lions as I was in previous years. I'm just taking a small step off the hype train. Now, again, very, very talented team. They got a lot of young talent, a lot of excitement, and when they're fully healthy, they could go step for step with any team in the NFL. If they had a healthy defense last year, they would have given Philly a huge problem in the playoffs. Might have even beat Philly in the playoffs last year if they had a healthy defense. But I think that's starting to change. The loss of both coordinators really, really hurts. And I think, if anything, that is closing the window more than anything. They lost the best offensive mind in football last year in Ben Johnson, and Aaron Glenn, who was a really, really solid defensive guy. Both the head coaching jobs. And listen, I love Dan Campbell, but I think he had a heavy reliance on Ben Johnson in the offense. I think very highly of Dan Campbell, but Ben Johnson ran the offense, and Aaron Glenn was the defensive guy. I don't know what they look like without those two coordinators. Furthermore, Hutchinson, Gibbs, J-Mo, Laporta, there are a lot of big names calling for big-time contracts in the next few years. The Lions needed to win young. The prime of their window was 2023 and 2024, where they should have capitalized. And they lost a really bad game in the conference championship to the Niners. And they lost a bad game last year to the Commanders, where they turned over the ball too much. They shot themselves in the foot. And for a team like the Lions, who historically haven't been the best, you only get these opportunities once in a blue moon, twice in a blue moon. They don't come around very often, and you got to capitalize when you get them. The same thing for Cincinnati with Joe Burrow a few years ago. There weren't going to be a dynasty. Could have told you that from day one. They needed to win then. And since they didn't, I don't know if they'll get another chance. Same thing with Detroit. And don't get me wrong, they're still extremely talented. But I'm just considering everything going on in the NFL right now. Right? You lose both coordinators, and there are a lot of teams in the NFC, a lot of teams that are doing good work with their rosters. Vikings, Buccaneers, Bears, Giants. There are a ton of NFC teams that are slowly building contending rosters that are really, really good. And I think the Lions are just slowly falling behind the 8-ball. Just slowly. And once those big contracts creep up, once the payday comes, they're going to have to make some tough decisions. And it's not all going to be sunshine and rainbows. So we'll see. I still have them in the playoffs this year. I don't think they'll fall completely out of the race, but I just think the window is closing, and it's closing real fast for this team.